Hey YouTube, this is Jaren, first video ever, so here we go. What I want to do with my channel is just kind of show off some electronics projects, different things I've built, different things other people have built, how software and hardware interacts and things like that. So in an attempt to teach all of you newcomers or even some of the more experienced people different things, I'm actually going to go through how to build a microprocessor similar to these 8-bit Atmel AVRs and just stuff like that. It's a really helpful project. You get to learn about digital logic circuits, you got to learn about all the analog aspects of things, and I think that's going to be the best way to teach and actually give a tutorial, is build some of the most complex devices that we've managed to build as humans so far, because I mean, a computer contains it all, every aspect of electronics that you need. So hopefully going through this I'll be able to teach you a lot of things like how logic gates work, how computers work, how Ohm's law is used. But for this first video, before we get started, I'm just going to kind of give you an outline of the tools you're going to need, some of the supplies you're going to need, because it's always kind of frustrating when people don't outline that and you start a project, spend quite a few dollars on it just to find you don't have the equipment or the parts that you need to finish it. I'm learning myself. This is a bigger project that I'm planning on tackling, so just bear with me. If you don't agree with something I say, just be mature about it. In the comments, try to inform me rather than belittle me, I guess you would call it. There's no need for that. I won't do that to you as long as you don't do it to me. A quick disclaimer before I start going over some of the tools and bare essentials you're going to need is electronics and electricity in general can be dangerous. There's certain health hazards to it. There's certain issues you can get into with the law with it if you're not careful. So just be sure, if you're going to use what I say, to verify it and use it at your own risk. But this is what I do at home. These are things that you don't need an awful lot of space for. I'm doing this on a desk with maybe 2 or 3 square feet of space, so you don't need an awful large space for it. Maybe some organization for parts and stuff like that. But anyways, here we go. Here is a outline of the tools that you're going to need for building a project like this. One thing that I'm going to tell you right now that you're not going to be able to get away with is one of these. This is a multimeter, and it will help you verify various calculations, help you verify where your circuit's failing, where it's working as it properly should. Without one of these, I can almost guarantee you're not going to be able to follow half of the tutorial series that I'm going to be putting out. You can get them either in a digital form like this, an analog form like this, or you can even buy one that are different in these that you can actually test transistors, capacitors, and inductors with. If you're going to go for one of those, they're probably going to be a little more expensive, or if you just need something to get you along, one of these more inexpensive multimeters will do you well. These next two are optional, but are recommended for building digital logic circuits and stuff like that. This is a logic probe. It allows you to probe around a circuit and find where there's logic highs and logic lows. Extremely useful when working with what we're going to be in the next few videos. The next one is helpful for looking at a lot of different things, how your waveforms look, the times that you need them to execute at, and stuff like that. This is only a handheld oscilloscope. I didn't get a benchtop oscilloscope because I'm not in a position where I'm, 1, skilled enough to use it, and 2, really have a use for it, as I'm just an electronics hobbyist for now, but I would like to go farther. A couple more things you're going to need is just basic tools, wire strippers, screwdrivers for taking apart old electronics. I may do that myself in some tutorials. Different pliers to bend wires, and crimps to cut sharp wires or just cut things shorter. Without pliers or wire strippers, you're going to be hard pressed to make a project as complex as the one that I'm about to work on. These are more of a material, but I put them in here anyways because without wire you're not going to be able to go very far with breadboards and stuff either. So I'd stock up on some 20 to 22 gauge hookup wire, preferably solid core, unless you plan on these projects moving around a lot. The next thing you're going to need is very helpful when you're testing, or just need some connection points, and that's a whole bunch of alligator clips. You're probably going to want various colors because they kind of help you keep signals, power, and stuff like that separated from one another. To put all of our circuits together on, I guarantee you're not going to want to sit around with a proto board all day soldering and then find that you've made a mistake and have to just scrap the board. So I suggest one of these solderless breadboards. They're pretty inexpensive. This one is a little small for what we're doing, but as you can see, you can just grab components out whenever you want, however you want, put them back in, take them back out. So yes, you're going to want a breadboard. This one, again, may be too small, but you can prototype some basic things on it. Use it as a switch or output board or whatever. This next bit is optional, but seeing as in the electronics world, I guess it's kind of hard not to hear of an Arduino because they're so popular. But this is an Arduino on a breadboard, and I use these boards to just make some cool little programs with, cool little scripts that run things automatically, so I don't have to do them manually. Again, not required, but these are really fun, and I'm going to, throughout these tutorials, be showing you how to use an Arduino to test various aspects of your circuits. But again, not required, just something cool that I'll be going through, because I'm just as interested in the software side as I am the hardware side of electronics. I can guarantee you now you're going to want paper or some method to draw your schematics or ideas on, because if you don't and you want to ask me a question or somebody else a question about it, but you don't record your ideas, you are going to get horribly lost and not be able to get any support from anyone else. Because without knowing exactly what you're doing, nobody's going to be able to help you. I'd suggest a whiteboard too. It's a quick way to sketch out ideas, and once they work, you can put them in a more permanent place. The next thing you're going to need to power every one of your projects, again, probably a material, but it's important enough that I've put them out here. You're going to need either a battery, a AC adapter, or wall wart. And then you're going to, you can use solar cells and stuff like too. That's probably less likely to happen throughout this series. The next couple of videos will be on how to read schematics, because I need that to teach you how to work with Ohm's law, which is just something that you're going to need to know to continue on with these series. So another final thing, I am in high school, I do work a job, so these videos may be few and far between, but I hope to still give you guys a good experience as they come out. I hope to see you next time. My next video coming out again will be on how to draw and read schematics, specifically my schematics. Some people follow different schemes, but if you're going to go by my tutorials, these are the schematics you're going to have to deal with. So again, if you like this first tutorial, like to see more, just subscribe, and as you subscribe you'll receive emails on different videos that come out. And I'll try to leave a pretty detailed description of what each one is, in case you're a more experienced electronics hobbyist and want to skip all this basic crap. So have a good evening.